Welcome to the audiovisual tutorial 01, opening a recent file and content rationale. Normally when you open PowerPoint, you get a blank presentation that looks much like this. To open a previous presentation, and normally I start each week by opening a previous presentation. You click on the File menu in the upper left-hand corner, and that should open a drop-down menu. There we go, and then I click on Recent. In this case, I'm going to open the Pentecost file, and there it is open. The first slide that I normally use indicates the date and either the title of Kate's sermon or the day of the church year. In this case, it was Pentecost. Moving to the Welcome slide. When the next slide begins a new segment of worship, I provide the congregation a heads up with the Next banner at the bottom of the slide so they can follow along without using their bulletin if they choose, or pick up their hymnal if they choose to do that. And here you'll notice that next is Greeting by the Choir. I call it Greeting by the Choir instead of Introit because the slides are mostly or most important to newcomers who come to the church, and Introit is church language. What in the world is Introit? So Greeting by the Choir works for me. Glorify the Name is the title, and normally those come from the Faith We Sing book. So I go to the Faith We Sing book, and I find out that, in fact, it's the words and music were written by Donna Atkins, and it was copyrighted in 1976 by Maranatha Music. You'll notice that the next block down on the bottom also alerts the congregation to the fact that the call to worship is going to be responsive. The call to worship slide, normally I put the liturgist or the leader in regular font, and sometimes if it's not distinguishable from the bold font, I'll actually reduce the font size to make it more evident. You'll notice on the last call to worship slide, I indicate the name of the song and the song number and verses to alert the congregation to get out their hymnal or to prepare to sing the song. On the title of each song, I include the title, the hymn number, and the verses. I also go to the Faith We Sing book or the United Methodist Hymnal and find out the lyricist and the author of the music and indicate that there, and the copyright information if it's available. All copyrighted information needs a license in order for us to show the lyrics, and we do have a license, and that license number is shown down in the bottom right-hand corner, and that's added on most all of the hymns to acknowledge the fact that we do have a license and that the information is copyrighted. I also choose to indicate in the upper left-hand corner of the first slide of each hymn the title number and the verses, so in case people decide at that point in time they want to get their pick up their hymnal, they're able to do so. I also, so they can measure their progress through the song, indicate the verse numbers, and on the last slide of each song, the next banner at the bottom left of the corner indicates to them that the song is over and they can expect another segment of the worship service. So that's the rationale for most of the items. I'll go into more detail on other video offerings.